nice one here.
Yes! Oh, my first down in Barramundi.
This is the ultimate fishing challenge. Kingfishers takes 3 anglers from around the world and pits them against each other.
Jeez.
Look at that!
They'll battle it out during 3 extraordinary expeditions.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, man.
But this is no holiday. These guys are highly competitive and determined to beat their new fishing buddies.
Yes.
They'll have to deal with new techniques, get to grips with unknown waters, and catch some fish.
Yeah!
After a tough fight in each of their very different home waters, one of them will be crowned Kingfisher. The Kingfishers Challenge heads to the USA, and competing for the title are Travis, an up-and-coming bass pro from Northern California.
I firmly and absolutely believe with every ounce of my body that I will be the greatest bass fisherman ever to live.
Confident then, Travis, but can this young man rule his home waters?
I have never seen it in my life.
Then there's Daniel, an obsessed sport fishing guide from Alaska.
I'm very competitive, absolutely. Coming out on top would be the greatest thing.
Yes, everyone wants to come out on top, but can this salty sea dog Daniel freeze out the competition?
Fish on! There it is! Fish on! All right.
And finally, there's tough-talking Matt, a fishing guide from the Florida Keys.
49 years of fire, wind, and devotion on 240 pounds of gut-crunching madness.
And it's Isla Morada in the Florida Keys where the Kingfishers competition starts. With the Everglades, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Atlantic Ocean on the doorstep, this is the place to fish, and you can do it 365 days a year. And few people take greater advantage of that than fishing guide Captain Matt Bellinger.
I would classify myself as a very good fisherman. I'm on the water 300 trips a year. I'm very competitive. You've got to be polite, you've got to be courteous, but you always got to have a plan to kill everyone in the room.
That's not necessary, there's enough fish for everyone here.
You think this is good? We're just getting started.
But our target fish is the mighty sailfish. Known locally as the rock star, with its punk rock dorsal fin and long spindle beak, this streamlined beast can reach speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. And Matt's sure he can keep up the pace.
I'm here to play, and I'm here to stay. I'm going to be the Kingfisher.
Tough talk, Matt, but your competitors may have something to say about that. What have you got to say, Alaskan Sea Dog Daniel?
Yeah, there's a lot of suspense here. I'm really interested in where we're going and what we're fishing for.
Okay, no fighting talk there then. Maybe young gun Travis has some.
There might even be mermaids out here. I have no idea what to expect.
Mermaids? No mermaids here, unless Daniel's hiding one in his bag.
Travis.
Hi, Travis. I'm Daniel.
Daniel, nice to meet you.
From the outside, he looks like he's very serious.
My first impressions of Travis is, a tall, skinny, young kid.
And to impress the serious guy and the tall, skinny young kid, Matt's laid on a limousine. What a gent.
Look at this.
How you doing? Anybody going fishing?
Yeah, we're ready, man. Let's go.
I know, I like how he's starting out everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully these accommodations keep going, and he'll be baiting my hook for me.
I don't think I'm gonna bait your hook for you.
And I was up for anything. I knew it was going to be fun. And I was really, really curious about who this guy we're about to meet is.
So, tough talking Matt's 2 challengers arrive in style, hoping to have all their questions answered.
I was waiting for the limo to arrive, and I felt like a groomsman waiting on his bride. And here they come, Tweedledum and Tweedledum.
All right, so you're the one that sent the limo for us. Yeah, I like it. Travis.
Matt Bellinger, how you doing,
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Hi, Daniel Donich. Nice to meet you,
Daniel,
Matt.
nice to meet you,
Yeah.
man. Welcome to the Florida Keys, guys.
All right.
So you've had some time to think about all this?
Oh, yeah, plenty.
Have you figured it out yet?
I have no idea what kind of fishing.
Right now, this time of the year, The king has got to be sailfish, the spindlebeak.
Yes.
The big purple lizards.
Sailfish, I've caught them before, and they're awesome fish. They rip into your gear, they take you for a dance, and it's a dance you will not forget.
It tests you. It tests somebody who does it all the time, and definitely tests somebody who's not familiar with it.
In the Keys, it's all about sea fishing, as bass fisherman Travis is about to find out from our resident tough talker.
Joke about bass guys, and no offense if that's your thing, everybody's got to be something. No,
Each little thing he said, it was like, unlike bass fishing, we're going for bigger fish. Unlike bass fishing, we use lighter line.
Bass tackle, I guess, is 30 to 50 pound fiber lines and stuff on bait casters and stuff like that.
To reel in a 2 to 3 pound bass.
To reel in a 2 to 3 pound bass.
This is awkward.
And it was just every time he was saying that, I'm like taking notes, like, okay. I'm gonna be throwing these right back in his face in 1 week.
In layman's terms, bass guys go hunting elephants with howitzers. Saltwater guys, we tend to show up at gunfights with knives.
Or maybe just use a rod.
Cheers.
All right.
Yeah, it's an adventure.
With first impressions firmly set, it's time to call it a day. It's 7 a.m. and our anglers are about to embark on their first fishing competition. And Travis has come prepared with a secret weapon.
Hey, he told me he's a lucky fishing hat, so I believe him.
Exactly. Did you get the T-shirt?
Yeah, it looks good on you.
What are you wearing on your head? And I told him my lucky fishing hat, that's what Florida people were supposed to wear.
Yeah, if you're 87.
We just need some black socks for you. You'll be set.
Oh, no. All right. Let's get on the water, guys, all right?
Let's do this thing.
So, tough-talking Matt, Sea Dog Dan, and young gun Travis and his grandmother's lucky hat set off to fish. The anglers will be trolling for the sailfish, dragging their bait from the back of the moving boat to emulate a swimming fish. But it's catch and release, so they'll be using circle hooks, which are barbless and therefore less damaging. The rules are set by host Matt.
So we're going to use a point system. Sailfish are going to be 10 points. Okay. Unless I catch it, then it's 11.
Right.
Home court advantage. 10 points. Mahi show up and blackfin tuna. We'll score those at 6. We'll have some bycatch too of a fish called bonita.
Oh, yeah.
Those will be worth 3 points. So you could get into a pack of those guys, but you can catch 3, and that's still not a sailfish.
What? So basically, sailfish are the main target, but there's a load of other fish, and Matt will score them however the heck he wants. Okay. The guys will be fishing out in the Atlantic Ocean, but first they must stop to get some bait. And Matt decides to get the lines in to start fishing, which is quite a good idea as it turns out, because it's not long before he gets a bite.
Fish on. Mangrove snapper. At a point apiece. How about that?
Okay.
If you guys catch one.
Matt immediately hooks up. He gets this little fish. He goes 1-0, and it's like, oh, we're even keeping score already. I thought this was kind of a warm-up.
But the young gun Travis warms up fast and catches 2 quick snappers.
Mutton snappers.
Snappers are worth a point each, so that's 2 points to Travis.
That's a mutton snapper.
Let's head home now, guys. That's Kingfisher. Let's buy some beers and call it a day.
Yeah, it's a lucky hat, not a magic one.
I've got 2 snapper in the boat, and so I'm leading the thing. I'm feeling great about my lucky hat that they have just been giving me crap about from the very beginning, and I'm now going, haha, who's laughing now? All right.
Yeah, you're laughing now because you're leading, but the real fishing hasn't started, so Matt moves them to target sailfish. They bait 3 rods and start to slowly troll, looking for signs of a sailfish pod.
I can read that water when a sail's coming up. I know what to look for.
So we're trolling. It's rough conditions. Seeing the fish would have been tough, and just kind of a hang-on, hold-on situation.
And it's like rocking, and finally, like, I started feeling a little sick, and that was definitely the hardest part of the day for me is sitting during that lull.
Stop doing that, you're making me feel sick. And Matt's feeling even worse. He doesn't think there's any fish.
I was dying on the inside.
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
But I didn't want to show too much outward sign of being upset. If 1 pack of sailfish had shown up, it's a whole nother game.
If you look at how much water's out there and how many fish there are, and we're dragging 4 little hooks through the water, and it's always amazing to me when a fish comes up and grabs something. Because if you look at the odds, they're not really that great.
After quite a long time on the water and no sign of a sailfish pod, Matt decides enough is enough.
We're Making a
We're gonna make a move. You know, it's not really a typical day in the Keys so much as it is a sometimes typical day with sailfish. They're very moody. They're sometimes a pack fish, sometimes a solo. And we just haven't found that solo, we haven't found that pack.
This is a competition, and no fish means no points. So Matt decides to move to a reef. It's a chance to catch more fish, and points will be handed out at Matt's discretion.
That's a fish. Uh-oh, that's a fish.
Has he got a fish?
I got a fish on, baby.
Oh, he got a fish!
My line goes taking off, and I'm back in this, and I'm already winning this thing.
Oh, nice mangrove snapper. Wow.
Yeah!
That's a nice one.
But is it beautiful?
Beautiful mangrove snapper. Beautiful mangrove snapper. Big one.
Caught him. I could say worth 10 points. Is it worth 10 points? But unfortunately, for some reason, again, it was only worth 1 point.
Yes, baby.
That's a beauty.
There you go.
And it seems the young gun just can't stop catching snapper.
Fish on! I'm loving this spot. But he still counts as another point there.
And then he was strong. He was real strong. He was all puffy chested. And he let everybody know about it. Built yourself up a little bit of a lead. What are you, 4?
You're too used to letting everybody else catch all the fish, man. You're good at that. And I appreciate that. Appreciate you letting me have a good time.
It ain't over yet.
Travis has caught 4 fish to Matt's 1, and Sea Dog Dan has yet to catch. Surely this can't be down to a hat.
I gotta listen to the kid, you know, about his damn hat. When we get back to the hotel, I can get you one of these hats.
Big Mike will square me away with one of those?
Big Mike, man,
I just
he
might
told
have to
me.
score one, man.
He told me, lucky fishing
I'm just
hats.
gonna get a little bit of it on me right now. Just
Touch
put it on right there. Get it on me,
there
right there.
you go.
I should not have let him do that.
And then I took a couple of rubs. I took that luck to the back of the boat. And I think that's when I got my bonito.
Hold on.
Interestingly, Matt's bonito is worth 3 points, bringing him level with the young gun.
Thank you, Daniel.
You betcha.
It was a beautiful, beautiful sight to see that fish. I was very happy. We couldn't let him go that long. Had to give him a little humble pie, served up bonito style.
And there's more humble pie where that came from,
Oh, karma.
as Travis's next fish escapes.
All right.
Now it's Sea Dog Daniel's turn to get on the board with an Almaco Jack. That's 1 point. Then he gets a bonito, 3 points.
All
Got a
right.
shiny head like mine.
And then a king mackerel, another 3.
Look at those teeth.
King mackerel.
Then Matt gets another bonito.
Nice bonito.
Travis can only look on as he slips from first place down to last.
There it is. Hey, Travis, come here. I want you to meet somebody. I want you to introduce you to third place.
Let me touch him.
There's-
All
that's-
right.
They loved the Great Fall. You know, I was cocky early in the day. I was winning. I had a big smile, and they couldn't have loved it more that I was losing at this point.
7, Daniel.
Yeah, baby.
7, Mateo. And T-Bob, T-Bone, Junior, Models of Man, California. comes out. Right now at 4th.
We kind of jazz him a little bit, you know, Callie and, you know, Pretty Boy and stuff like that. And I mean, he's a pretty good-looking guy, you know, but...
Okay, moving swiftly on. Old-timers Matt and Daniel share the lead, but Pretty Boy is onto something big.
Then all of a sudden, the deep pole just goes.
Nice.
What's Junior got over there?
I don't know. Got something big.
Travis, he hooked the beast, a pitched battle.
And it just goes. And it goes on this 5-minute run where I'm just holding it, and my arms are literally getting sore.
Come on, Travis, use those guns. This could win you the competition.
From 0 to hero, I won this thing. It's gonna be a world record. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's the biggest fish ever. It won't stop. It just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And I'm like, you know, my mind is like, oh, I'm gonna be like a legend down here. They're gonna have my face in bars. I'm gonna be signing autographs.
Oh!
Where is it then, Travis?
Even though I never got to see it, it had to have been a world record.
Well, yes, world record for biggest invisible fish of all time. Time is running out for our 3 fishermen in round 1 of the competition. Host Matt and salty Sea Dog Dan are leading, with young gun Travis desperate to get back in the game.
No sooner did we say we're gonna, pull up lines and it's gonna be over, that all of a sudden, zzz,
Travis and I are kind of looking at it like, oh no, you take it. Oh no, you take it. You got this. I had the last one.
I'm not real cat-like, but after the 3rd you take it, I dove through the middle of them and took the rod because I remembered this is a competition.
You snooze, you lose.
Oh, it's a fish.
If Matt lands this, he wins. Dan helps bring in Matt's prize, and the tough talker is over the moon. But with 30 razor-sharp teeth, the king mackerel is not the kissing type.
Just right there. 10-7 and 4.
So the young gun's lucky hat failed, and tough talker Matt takes victory. It's time to head back.
I loved the competition. That was great. It was pitch battles right down to the end.
With the first round over, the scores are like this. Matt gets 10 competition points for first place. Daniel, 5 points for second place. And Travis comes last, so gets 0. On top of the fishing scores, Travis and Daniel will give Matt marks out of 10 for their whole Florida experience. These will be revealed later. But to round off the trip, the tough talker's taking the boys to a legendary local tourist spot to see more fish.
It was an experience that I'm never going to forget.
At Robbie's Marina, you can hand feed these giant prehistoric tarpon. But that doesn't mean you feed them your actual hand, Daniel. They're finger-eating good.
I didn't think we were ever going to get Daniel to stop. He was having a blast with them.
Yeah, it's loads of fun, isn't it, Travis?
These things are way too big.
Way too big. These are actually mostly small.
I got it. Holy cow.
These things have their beady eyeballs and they look up at you and they size you up, and it is absolutely terrifying, and I'm very embarrassed that I screamed like a girl.
Young gun Travis scored no fishing points, and it looks like 0 man points too.
Oh, what a day, man. Oh, it's a good day.
The first of 3 fishing expeditions is over. Tough-talking Matt leads the competition, but everything can change in the next 2 rounds.
You can't get in my kitchen, not in my house, and not on my reef. It's my turf. We're going to their turf, and I'm not going to let it happen there either.
It was a good contest, and I'm looking forward to the next couple trips that we're doing.
I got nothing to lose. There's only one way to go, and it's going up.
I came to compete. I came to be the kingfisher. And simply put, that's what I'm going to do.
Tough talk, but there's 2 more challenges to come before one of our trio picks up the Kingfisher Trophy. In the frozen wilds of the north and a secret Californian lake, it's all to play for.
You know what? I love you a lot.
Northern California and the Tahoe National Forest is where our expert angling trio are headed to next for round 2 of our 3-stage competition. Set in over 1 million acres of forest, the lakes and rivers are the lifeblood of the region. They also provide a home to one of North America's most popular freshwater sport fish, and our target, the bass. Bass fishing has risen from humble beginnings to become a multi-million-dollar sport. And up-and-coming tournament pro Travis Moran has fishing domination firmly in his sights.
I know I am the greatest bass fisherman. The only thing left is for me to prove it to the world. Competitive bass fishing is a unique sport. It is you, and you have to tell yourself that you can win, and if you don't believe you're going to win every time, then you don't belong out there.
Well, Travis, you're currently losing, so you better start telling yourself you're going to win.
Out of Florida, into California, my home turf, my playground, we're here.
And joining Travis in his playground are tough-talking Matt from Florida and Alaska's salty sea dog, Daniel.
Here comes the circus.
I saw this big old motor home coming up the hill. You got like a guy who carries his house and his boat with him.
There he is. Hey.
All right.
And if you guys haven't guessed it yet, I'm a bass fisherman. We're actually going to be heading to a place called Lake X. This thing is a well-kept secret up here in Northern California, and for very good reasons, which you guys are about to find out.
Let's go catch some bass.
Yeah, buddy.
So the boys head off towards Lake X. Yes, that's what Travis calls it, to catch some bass.
Lake X. Still don't know the name of that lake. Lake X. Somebody was asking me today, where'd you fish? And I went, I don't know.
In last place right now in this competition, so it's now or never. I'm getting focused, and this is my home lake. I got to make my move. All right, fellas, Lake X, here we are.
Holy cow, look at that.
Full of fish, fellas, full of fish.
All right.
Lake X is a man-made reservoir built in 1969. Travis keeps it a secret because the bass fishing here is so good.
I've caught fish up to 9 pounds in this lake, and the world record is 10 pounds, which I know is swimming around in this place. Today we're gonna be going for spotted bass. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little mini tournament. You're gonna keep your biggest 3 fish. And just like in tournaments, we keep our fish alive.
So the rules are the angler with the 3 biggest fish wins. Simple.
Are you guys ready?
We're ready. I'm really ready.
All right, let's load up and get wet.
All right.
Well, they say they're ready, but sunshine lover Matt isn't, even though he's leading.
Yeah, you can say I was fishing out of water, being in the mountains, being cold, bass fishing. We don't do that kind of fishing.
Today, the guys will be working with rubber lures for bait.
When you find the color you want, you just thread it down the hook here, pop it out, make sure it's nice and straight, and now you're ready to go fishing.
The anglers must entice the bass to strike the lure by slowly reeling it in from the bottom of the lake. The bite can be subtle, so it requires a delicate touch.
I want everyone to put their hands in right now. Okay, put your hands and turn them over, okay? Those have had some rough times and, you know, they're weathered. These bites are sensitive, guys. These little bites, you might not even feel that fish put it in his mouth. Right. And so that's where these soft hands are gonna come in. You guys are gonna see why. I have some nice moisturizing going on, okay?
These are working hands.
I think he thinks callous is an attitude, not something you get on your hands, because those baby soft little hands there, they're all done up.
With rules, techniques, and manicure tips shared, it's time to throw those first casts of the day.
So watch this, guys.
Oh, fish on! Huh?
First cast?
Yep, first cast, fellas. This might.
I hate it for you.
Good luck, bad luck. We'll see.
Oh, God. And wham, I get hit too. Fish on, baby! Yahoo! All right.
I think you're on him.
Oh, it's got both.
How's that going by?
I have never, ever seen this in my life.
I'm gonna come on down.
This is as good
Nice.
as it gets.
We ended up hooking the same fish.
This I have never seen in my life. He has got both lures in him. One of these on the outside,
Right.
one of these on the inside. We're gonna untangle these
Mine was
lines.
probably on the outside. I was not using the one with the sparkles on. Travis's bait, or jig, was in the actual mouth of the fish, and mine was right on the outside of the mouth. So that's why Travis got that.
All right, Daniel, sorry, brother. Fellas, this is probably, I would say, about a 3.5, 4 pound.
T-Bone's on the scoreboard with a toad. There's a big old fatty.
Well, shoot. I mean, even if I don't catch a fish the rest of the day, it's kind of like I caught the fish I came here for.
Hang on a minute, Travis. You might have caught a big old fatty, but haven't you forgotten to tell the guys something?
Another rule here, guys, is
Fish on!
13 inches. They got to be 13 inches.
Oh, 13 inches. I didn't hear that part.
That's because he didn't tell you.
The kicker of the whole thing was, and he didn't really explain that to us at first, is that, by the way, they got to be 13 inches. Does that make 13 inches?
In the tournaments out west, usually the fish have to be over 13 inches. So we had to throw anything back that was going to be underneath that.
So, just in case you didn't catch that, it's 13 inches, and it's not long before they start catching fish. Small ones.
And if it feels big, got to make sure you're ready to back reel on them.
No, it doesn't feel big.
He's 12 inches.
12 and a half.
It's all about catch and release in these waters, but not before a good old smooch.
You guys are going to need bigger than that.
Very frustrating, catching those one after another, little guys, little guys, little guys.
Maybe he's really close.
Not quite, but I need his little older brother here.
As the hours tick by, it's up to Bass Pro Travis to finally stretch one over 13 inches.
And it goes, baby. That's 2 on the board.
Young gun Travis has 2 on the board, so he leads, and the salty sea dog Dan gets off the mark with his first legal-sized bass.
Whoa.
There we go.
Nice, nice.
Beautiful.
About a pound and 3/4 I'd put him at.
Back in the water, boys.
Gotta keep
It's a
moving.
competition.
He's not as boisterous as Matt is, but I definitely think, Daniel felt like he was in a good position after that.
Finally on the board, yeah. It feels real good to be on the board, but I still got a long ways to go to catch up to Travis.
So that just leaves Matt toughing it out in last place.
Oh,
Borderline.
I think they
I
might have a
want to take the
chance.
time to stretch, you know?
I never knew how far that was until bass fishing, and sometimes how far that was until bass fishing.
He is 12 and about 14/16 inches long.
It doesn't look like much. It might as well be that much. I'm at the back of the pack. I got nothing in the well, and it's weighing on you. I'm in a hole, and it was getting perilous.
Matt did start to go quiet near the end of the day, and I definitely sensed that, and I could see where he's coming from. He's leading this thing, and he didn't have a fish.
Tough-talking Matt's had no luck all day, so Travis takes it upon himself to give him an unwanted pep talk.
You just stay focused. Sometimes you get it on the first cast, and just as many times you'll get it on the last cast, and you just got to stay, stay positive.
Right.
Yeah, Travis, I'm sure Matt just loved that advice. And as the weather changes, Matt's day turns from bad to worse.
They are getting bigger.
If I didn't know any better, guys, I'd say it's hailing.
Not a lot was going on, and I said, you know what? Let's make a snow angel.
Make a snow angel.
Maybe in the back of my mind, I was letting him know that I wasn't really all that bothered by being in a hole.
But as the hail clears, Matt's mind games need to start working soon as time is running out.
Okay, guys, we got 1 hour left.
Come on, be awake. Never wanted a 13-inch so much in my life.
Yeah, I'd keep that to yourself.
In true Matt fashion, he's a fourth quarter player.
That's 13. Yeah, that's in the box.
Lip, and I see through it. You know what? I love you a lot.
I'm giddy right now. The schneid is off. I'm back in the game. I got that fish, and all of a sudden, my back didn't hurt so much. My knees weren't hurting so much. My hands were warm, and I was ready to go.
With Travis clearly out in the lead, the battle is on for second place between Matt and Daniel.
The tension between Matt and myself it was definitely building towards the end. I'm not giving up yet.
We were making cast after cast. It got real serious real quick.
Oh, exactly 10 more minutes to go. I'm looking for just one more bite. One more decent fish. Come on, fish. 1 minute. 1 minute to go, guys.
The end of the second round is rapidly approaching. Can our tough talker Matt catch a last-minute prize?
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Matt's all of a sudden his rod is bent down. He's good. It's hailing. I mean, he's happy. He's stoked.
He's caught a fish. He's got it on the boat. But is it long enough to sneak him into second place?
I was hoping for another miracle.
Is it a miracle?
Oh, man.
No.
Nope.
No.
No, it's not. And that is game over.
I'm looking forward to going in and seeing the results, guys.
What, to see just how badly you beat us?
You guys already figured that out, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And with that, round two's fishing is over, and they head back to shore with Matt hiding in shame. So the young gun Travis catches the most and gets 10 points. Sea Dog Dan edges another second spot, taking 5 points. And tough-talking Matt is tough no more. He gets 0. That means after the second of 3 rounds, it's all square with everyone on 10 points.
I'm stoked. I just had 0, and now I'm tied for the lead in this thing. So I went from 0 to hero overnight.
All good for Travis, but Florida Matt has lost his leading role.
I was very disappointed. It changed the whole complexion of this competition.
Kingfishers win points for the fishing challenge over 3 legs, but there are more points to be gained by hosting a great overall experience. To round off the Californian leg, the guys are hitting the road.
The drive was stunning.
Stunning, isn't it, Dan? 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 Daniel and Matt will mark their California experience out of 10, and Travis is hoping to strike it lucky with a visit to the big city.
Downtown Reno, biggest little city in the world, in a motorhome.
Reno offers 24-hour casinos, non-stop parties, and valet parking. And Travis wants to take them bowling.
Come to Reno. All the excitement, all the shows, all the restaurants, all the things you can do, and we go bowling.
Well, boys, I'm gonna give you one chance to redeem yourselves from
Oh.
yesterday, so
Oh.
let's see what happens.
With so much stuff to do, there must be a reason Travis has brought them bowling. Oh yeah, that's right. It's because he's really good at it. There's nothing like handling victory with grace and decorum, eh, Travis?
You can gloat all you want, but until you actually win the thing, that's what makes the difference.
I'm getting used to being on top here. I'm liking this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you guys are mentally getting used to this.
Every dog has its day, and Travis has certainly made the most of his.
He's enjoyed his moment of glory, because we're going to shut him down up north.
More tough talk from Matt, but the final round in the frozen north lies ahead.
Oh my God!
Our trio are all square on fishing points, but the Kingfisher crown is on ice until they get through this last stage.
I'm giving him my hot spot, okay? A little different than bass, huh?
Round 3 and the final stage of the competition. Our expert anglers are in Homer, Alaska. Set on the south side of the Kenai Peninsula and on the shore of the Kachemak Bay, Homer is a place of stunning natural beauty. But with wild lands and even wilder seas, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Welcome to my backyard!
And to fish these waters, it takes a true obsessive, like sport fishing guide Daniel Donich.
I'm addicted to fishing, and fishing is the drug of choice, I guess this is the one way to put it.
And the fish that feeds his addiction is the mighty Pacific halibut. Weighing up to 800 pounds, this diamond-shaped monster is a sport fisherman's dream.
Catching a big halibut, it's quite a thrill. Once they get up on the surface, they can be quite a hustle and tussle to deal with. It's a monster.
Daniel has yet to win a leg of this competition, but it doesn't seem to be bothering him.
I guess I'm more like a typical Class A predator where I like to kind of sit back and assess the situation and then wait to pounce.
The salty sea dog's got home advantage, but vying to stop him are young gun Travis and tough-talking Matt. That's if they can move under all their clothes.
Oh, man.
I think they had every stitch of clothing on they could. Matt looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy. We're gonna go down here through the metropolis of Homer. And don't blink, because you'll probably miss it.
Daniel gives the guys a whistle-stop tour of Homer, including a visit to Beluga Lake, which he says is frozen solid. Let's hope he's right.
And we are doing 360s, just woohoo!
I don't know how much ice can take and weight and stuff, but we're in a heavy truck, and we've got 3 grown men in there. I don't know why we weren't falling through the ice. I was scared to death that we were gonna die right there.
I think they had a really good time. They actually asked if we could do that again.
It's like a ticket. I think I just wet myself.
You wet yourself. Wait, you actually wet yourself? They've had their first taste of Homer's extreme nature, and now overlooking the Kachemak Bay, they're about to find out why they're here.
Guys, here we go. Here's my backyard. Literally. Literally my backyard.
Top of the world, Daniel.
Okay, guys, for the competition for tomorrow, we'll be fishing for the mighty halibut. And
You couldn't have planned a better ending to this thing. I mean, this is gonna be just a photo finish.
The fact that it's come down from on these 3 trips to this trip in a place I've always wanted to be, fishing for a species I've always wanted to fish for, it can't get any better.
It's a sprint now. We can see the finish line. I don't care if I'm throwing up over the side the entire time. I'm gonna keep a rod in my hand, and I'm gonna be ready to try to become Kingfisher out of this thing.
Can't wait to see that, Travis. In the wilds of Homer, Alaska, it's first light, which is almost lunchtime in the rest of America.
Vampires would have a fun time here in Homer, Alaska, because the sun never really comes up.
the daylight hours are short. And so, every second has to count.
But before they can fish, Daniel must give the guys a safety briefing.
As we all know, it's very cold, and when it's cold, you don't want to go in the water. I treat the water like battery acid.
Battery acid? that grabs you.
You get wet, you're screwed. So stay dry. What happens is the hypothermia starts setting in. You can't move your arms, you can't move your legs, and you sink.
Yeah, apart from that, come on in, the water's lovely. The fishing grounds for today's challenge are found 16 miles out in the Kachemak Bay on the cusp of the Gulf of Alaska.
As the water's splashing up on the rails and up on the window, it starts as a slush and it builds to an ice.
I think this puts some hair on your chest for sure, being out in these waters.
This is like about a 3-foot groundswell. They're real far apart, which is good. And I'm hoping it doesn't get any worse than this.
As they arrive at the fishing spot, the swells have dropped sufficiently enough for them to tie off and prepare to start fishing. The anglers will be using the vertical jigging technique, but this is extreme as they're dropping their line over 54 meters with 680-gram weights attached. For this type of fishing, you need upper body strength and hardy bait on your hook.
What the octopus does is it's a good tough bait, but it doesn't have a lot of scent. And then the herring is soft, but it's got a lot of scent. So the two work really well together.
All these chunks of pieces on this one giant hook, we're looking for some serious fish.
That's a good bait.
It's time to set the rules of the competition.
Any fish besides a halibut is going to be 1 point.
Okay.
Any halibut, no matter what the size, is going to be 5 points. The largest halibut, the longest halibut, is going to be 10 points.
5 points for the halibut, another bonus 10 points for the biggest halibut. So immediately that works for me. I'm always thinking I'm gonna catch the biggest fish.
Come on, Travis, a bit of self-confidence. And with over 20 years experience at sea, Captain Matt is first to feel that bite.
There he is.
Oh, baby!
Is he on?
I can't tell. I had some bites, but could not sink a hook. And I'm thinking, no big deal. Just want to take your picture. Pick a fight.
So I'm watching Daniel. Every time Daniel's twitching it, I'm twitching it and just watching him try not to fall off the boat because the boat is rocking every single which way. And the next thing I know, Daniel's fish on.
Fish on!
There it is.
Oh,
There it is.
He hooks up, rod just bent over, brings it up, pulls it into the boat, and it is literally the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's an Irish lord.
Jeez.
Look at that.
The Irish lord is a reef predator that can change colour to suit its surroundings.
He gets the first fish and you go, okay, all right, well, they're here. They're here.
Daniel's on the board with one ugly
There you
fish.
go, buddy.
And it's not long before he doubles his lead.
Another fish on. Yeah, this is the mighty codfish here.
Then trebles it.
Another cod.
Then, you get the picture.
I'm getting lucky here. Oh, there's a bite. I started getting into a pretty good roll there. I think I had like 4 cod or something like that back to back. Fish on. All right. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have different bait than us. He's not doing anything different. And so there can't be much more I have to figure out to catch up with him.
Nice.
I want at least hold one. Maybe I get a little smell on me. Come on, come to daddy.
Daniel hasn't won a leg of this competition yet, but he's way out in front on his home waters.
I wasn't sweating it. Get a halibut, you get the big one, you all of a sudden got 15 points. You're in a clubhouse laughing right there at that point.
Next thing happens, Daniel hooks into another fish and gets it up to the boat, and it's a halibut.
Yeah, that was a punch in the neck right there, man.
You can see the white side is on the bottom, and the green side is the camouflage.
Daniel's punch in the neck is 26 inches and sets the benchmark for the longest fish.
There they go. You kind of want to let them slap because it kind of wakes them up. It was up to 10 points like that, pretty quick. And it's like, okay, guys, now you can catch one. You can have my hot spot.
All right.
Okay. I'm giving him my hot spot, okay?
But no sooner does he drop down again than it's...
Fish on!
Where's this stuff now?
All right.
Oh, come on, Daniel, give someone else a go.
Fish on!
Oh, hang on.
Here they come. A little different than bass, huh?
Daniel's reeling in his, I'm reeling in mine. Fish on, fish on. Starts to come closer and closer to the surface. And then I realize there's only one halibut.
Once again, Trav.
I'm not believing this.
Just like in California, Travis and Daniel have hooked the same fish. But this time it's Daniel who takes the spoils.
There it is.
Wait, did I just reel that fish halfway in and not get any of it?
You gave him a break.
I don't know if I'd call it karma. I just felt deflated at that moment. I needed to catch up with Daniel. He was running away with the thing, and I felt like I had it, and really, it was just him running away with it even more.
It's just revenge. That's just the way it goes with the whole competition thing. So.
And revenge is sweet for Daniel.
32 inches.
Because at 32 inches, his catch is the longest fish in the competition.
Okay, LA, see you next summer.
And with the pressure on, Matt is hooking up, but he just can't keep the fish on the line.
No.
Matt, you missed a fish over there?
It was 2 in a row, boom, 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 like that. It's deflating. You're dropping down and you're doing the math in your head. Okay, I need 3 halibut, and one of them's got to be bigger than anything Daniel's caught so far.
We're on the optimist, so the only thing I can do is be optimistic.
But Matt and Travis can only watch on as again, Daniel moves further and further into the lead.
I got the sinker. All right. Nice flatty for December. Say around 20, 25 pounds, right?
Every fish Daniel hooks is bigger than the last.
35,
Yeah, 35, 36.
35, 36.
Nice fish.
You want to hold and get your picture taken?
No, I don't.
They did not want to do that.
I don't need your sympathy halibut right now, all right?
That's right. I just want to be able to say I landed one.
But landing a fish suddenly becomes a goal too far as a change in tide starts to worry Daniel.
We've probably picked up another 10 knots or so here in the last 15 minutes. So let's give it the old 5-minute warning.
It's the dying moments of the final stage of this competition. It's now or never to score competition points for Travis and Matt.
I'm a professional fisherman. I wasn't getting the hook in the fish. I can't make a lot of excuses.
No.
I'm trying to will my reels to all of a sudden go off the poles. I'm just trying to just will a fish onto my line.
King salmon?
It's become too hostile to fish, and with ice forming on the boat, Daniel pulls the plug.
We're gonna make a move and go find a shelter. Obviously the wind was starting to come up and you get freezing spray. And what happens is you start building up ice. And if you don't know when to say it's time to go, then what happens is you turn into a big popsicle.
So before they turn into a giant popsicle, they head back to shore and Travis falls asleep, giving Matt time to reflect on the trip.
Fished in a lot of conditions, fished in a lot of tournaments under a lot of stress. It was the most challenging fishing I've ever done. I'm not afraid to say that, and I didn't rise to the occasion. That's the hard part to say.
Daniel's dominant display scores him 10 competition points and the top spot. Matt and Travis catch no fish and therefore score no points. Meaning after 3 rounds, Daniel has won the fishing on 20 points and Matt and Travis have 10 apiece. But it's not all over yet. The Kingfisher's title can be won or lost on the overall hosting scores. So since Matt and Travis caught no fish, Daniel is going to try and impress them with some dog-based entertainment. Yep, it's gonna get hairy.
It's like, oh my gosh, we're going dog sledding.
The one rule of dog mushing, and I cannot say this enough, and I will repeat myself all day long, don't let go.
That was the only instructions we got is don't let go of the sled. Have a nice day.
So the key to dog sledding is to hold on tight. First to feel the raw power of the canine charge is tough talker Matt.
Oh, take off!
Oh my God! He's done for. I just see his head bobbing up and down over the things.
3 minutes, 40 seconds.
Here we go.
On your mark, get set, go!
Oh no.
Young gun Travis makes this dog mushing thing look easy and slashes Matt's time in half.
Ooh, good time. 2 minutes, 22 seconds.
You just let him go?
With Travis to beat, this should be no problem for wild man Daniel.
10 seconds.
Woohoo! He's really flying around that final bend, right on course to whoa! He's lost the sled and his hair.
And he's
Yeah, you can stop now.
Break.
At the end of it all, it doesn't matter who's won. It's the taking part that counts.
I won!
Yeah, whatever, Travis.
He can have the win there. That's okay. I wanted the win in the fishing. You can say you're a dog sledder. You'll say that once. I'm still a fisherman, and I wanted that win.
Okay, maybe it's not the taking part that counts. From the edge of the tropics to the heart of the tundra, it's been an epic competition. And although Daniel's ahead in the fishing, it's all to play for, as the guys also give each other marks out of 10 for their overall experience of each trip. In the Florida Keys, Matt took the early spoils.
I'm not kissing him.
But what did Daniel and Travis make of it all?
It was fantastic.
I got to give him a perfect 10. Matt absolutely just has this place down, and I can't imagine anything more perfect.
In California, Travis taught the salty sea dogs a freshwater lesson.
This I have never seen in my life.
But was bowling the perfect end to a fishing day?
Bowling.
For the California experience, I'd have to give it an overall about an 8.
In Alaska, they spun around on a frozen lake and raced dogs through the snow. But in unforgiving waters, Travis and Matt didn't catch a single fish.
It was definitely kind of a reality check, a little bit depressing.
It's disappointing, very disappointing not to have caught a fish here.
So, with the fishing and hosting scores combined, all that remains is to find out who will be crowned the Kingfisher.
It's been an honor and a privilege to fish with you guys. It's been fantastic. But it's been a competition. There can only be one Kingfisher. So let's take a look.
Let's open up the book.
Yeah, here it is. So in third place, Travis, with 26 points. Meaning the winner is Daniel with 38 points. There you go, buddy.
Daniel's supreme fishing and very solid 18 hosting points clinched him victory with a whopping 38. Matt's equally strong 18 hosting points in Florida gives him second spot with 28. And Travis's bass and bowling extravaganza didn't quite knock them out. He ends on 26.
Right there.
Well, thank you, guys.
I'm the Kingfisher.
On the bottom, a little disappointed, but at the same time, it was nobody's fault but my own. I guess at the end of the day, I wish I would have done a little better and finished on top.
I'll take it to the day I die, that there's so much more to fishing than just fishing. The friendships that we forged on this trip are fantastic. We've got a lot of good fishing ahead of us.
It's an awesome feeling. This is going up on my trophy case, which there is no other trophies to go with, but it'll be right up there.
Kingfisher!